Ah, hello, hello, hello. How's
To
everybody?
Pythagorean, one cup has deemed it necessary to water the cat.
Hey, hey, thank you so much for the hydration. We're here again, hopefully, for a regular. It's been so nice hitting the weekend. The nice, peaceful weekend. It's actually it's raining right now. Ow!
Oh, tea cakes!
To be! Congratulations. Also 8 months. Yo, congratulations on surviving 8 months. Congratulations. How's everybody doing today? How has everybody been doing? It feels like it's been forever. When was the last time I streamed? It feels like it's been forever. I did Friday, Thursday, was Wednesday? No. Wednesday, Tuesday? Was Tuesday like the last day that I've streamed? It's been a really long time, dude. My brain was melting. I talked a little bit about it during yesterday's stream, but like, man, I really felt like I was in my own personal hell. As on top of like, they barricaded my front entrance. So like Wednesday, I took Sasha to have her first checkup, but like I had to leave before they started barricading my front entrance. So like I had to leave super early in the morning before her appointment. Her appointment was at like 10, but I still had to leave at like 8, 7, like 10 minutes to 8 or something like that. And they were all outside, and I was like, I'm leaving, I gotta go, bye. And like I didn't know what to do because it was 2 hours before her appointment, that I just kind of like set up shop. I found a nearby cafe bakery, and I set up shop there. And oh my god, it was so busy. There was so many when I was first looking for places. There was so many like bakery cafe places that didn't open until 10, and so I was just like, why Sag my life sort of thing. But I was able to find one that was open, like at 8, and so I sat there and it was so busy. It was crazy. And I had the croissant and I had some tea, and the tea was okay. The croissant was actually quite ballin'. It was nice and soft and fluffy. Oh wow, wow. I like the croissant. I think I might go back and like get more, maybe. I don't know. But I liked their croissant a lot. I streamed yesterday. I know I streamed yesterday, but that's different. That's different. I mean, like, since the week. Since the week. Also, I was really tired yesterday after stream. I was super tired that, like, I took my second shower and then I just kind of knocked out. I just kind of, like, fell asleep for the rest of the day. I just fell asleep for the rest of the day. I was just really tired for some reason. I don't know. Maybe getting excitable about fire uh really took the energy out of me. But also, I was also being driven insane because I took a shower and I still smelled like smoke. I made sure to like re-scrub everything, and I still smell like smoke, and I can't figure out where it's coming from. I don't know if it's my hair. It feels like it's my hair. I also went and like wiped down all of my phones because they were all covered in like ash and soot. And it doesn't matter that I wiped them down, and I even used like disinfectant to wipe it down, and you'd think it would smell like disinfectant alcohol. But no, my phones still smell like smoke. Why do my phones still smell like smoke? There's nothing to like. I can understand fabric, right? Because it kind of like penetrates into the material and the fabric. But like, my phone is a hard surface. What is it permeating in my phone to get to smell like smoke? I don't understand. Let me see. Hello, Game Guy. Hello, Zoom. Hello, Butta. Hello, Tippy. Hello, TM. How are you guys doing? Good morning. Good morning. You will be back. Okay. What's up today? No banging on the roof? No, I do believe, I think the reason for that is that they don't work on the weekends. At least that's what I'm hoping. No banging on the roof. Oh my god, my brain. I was literally melting. I never knew. I at first, like, when I was informed about them doing this, I'm just like, oh, okay, no biggie. It's just a little bit of noise, right? In my head, I'm just like, it's just gonna be a little bit of noise, just some light banging, you know, whatever. It's fine. I've gone to like a rock concert at a convention. It's just a lot of noise. It's whatever. But oh my god, I didn't realize the kind of banging would literally make my brain just want to go into a blender and eat itself. It's crazy. Your brother and niece are there? Hey, little ones! You streamed yesterday. You're gonna lurk, digging a grave for the hammies. Can't miss out on that. Oh, wait. Why digging a grave? How many have died? That's crazy. Smoke inhalation. There was a lot of smoke inhalation yesterday. Absolutely. It was that dancing you did. All of that dancing. Man. Hi, Chicken. How are you doing? Hello, the Mad Chicken. How are you doing as well? I saw that you stopped by in yesterday's stream, but I didn't quite catch it because my TTS isn't hooked up for YouTube for IRL streams. Hello, hello, hello. Likely your hair. Man! I'm gonna need to like re-shampoo my hair. Like, I did shampoo my hair again. Which I did shampoo in the morning, and then like I felt weird doing it again in the afternoon because like if you over shampoo, like that could also kill your hair, is what I've heard at least. I don't know if it's real. So I was kind of cringing at needing to re-shampoo my hair. Vinegar works for neutralizing smoke. Do I need to like saturate my hair in vinegar? Hi Dill, hello, thank you so much for the follow. With every level I go stronger. Thank you, thank you. Apple and orange juice help. Would shampooing? Good morning. Still smoking? Smoking hot, smelling like smoke? Yes, I still smell like I've been to a cigar lounge. It feels like smoking hot indeed. Gawawa. Gawawa. Smell smoke fades with time. You don't mind the smell. I don't mind the smell, but like it's one of those things where it's just like it's permeating throughout the existence, right? And I just smell it and I'm like, where is it coming from? What item? Which one of you guys is doing it? And I can't figure it out. I don't mind it, but it also drives me crazy. Does that make sense? To not mind something but also have it drive you momentously insane. Happy official monathon. Hope you and chat are doing well and even closer to Borf Day. Yeah, we're officially on 31 days. That's kind of insane. That's kind of crazy. Absolutely insane. I cannot believe it. But we are here. A little bit, not too much. It could have seeped into the speaker mic. I didn't even think about that. It's in my phone. It's inside of my phone. No. I'll stick it in some rice. We could add some smoky flavor to rice, right? Is that how that can work? Can you hear your thoughts now? I can totally hear my thoughts now. I can totally hear my thoughts now. And there's so many things that I want to do, right? I was trying to look at a list of like merchandise stuff that I need to get done and pan out, and I'm just like, I was making a list and I was speaking to some people about it. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get on the ball again. For like the past week, I've hated existing on my computer. Absolutely hated it. It really sucked because it hurt my brain too much. So like I was trying my best to stay in the living room more, which was like either on my laptop or whatnot, just kind of staying in the living room so that it's further away from the roof, because my office is on the second floor, immediately under many multiple rooms and the sunroof, But like the insane thing was like the video that I showed you guys the other day where like they parked a truck bed thing in front of my house and they were throwing skylight. It's skylight, right? Sky windows, the skylights off of the roof and just like having them make big bang noises and like looking at the glass be all shattered down there. I'm like, those were perfectly good windows. Those were perfectly good windows and they just shattered them all. I was like sitting by the window when they like dropped the first one and I'm just like, come on, I can catch like when they dropped the first one, I was kind of confused what that big bang was. And then when they dropped the second one, I had realized it was the windows they were throwing off the roof into the truck bed. And I'm just like sitting there, I'm like, I need to catch another one. They need to throw another one. So I'm like sitting there with my phone. I'm like, come on, come on. I'm lucky that I was able to catch one of them. You found this super cool emo, but mods keep deleting it. Whoa. What's the emo? What do you mean mods keep exploding it? It's a absolute peak for real. Oh, congratulations on the full month of Dawnlithon. Man, I can't believe you guys have kept me here for a full month of Dawnlithon. A bit choppy, admittedly, but I'm sorry for that. You still have me here for however many consecutive hours we have left. Awful freaking emote. Stop posting it. What is the emote? Huh? Guh. It's a wild emote. Should have run out and caught one. That would be super dangerous. There's actually a traffic cone outside of my house that says like, what is it? Danger. I should have taken a picture. It's like danger hard hat area. Dangerous hard hat area. I'm like, man, I don't have a hard hat. I don't know what kind of things they're throwing off the roof. They might not know that I exist down there and whatnot. Ooh, but I did take some time. So my back kind of hurts because like on Friday night, I took time. So since Sasha has had her first checkup and we did some fixing up things and modifications and whatnot, I had to restrap all of her bags in. And I've edited, what is it? So before I had a strap that went around her seat, because there was a little notch underneath the seat, and I assumed that was for me to put a strap around the seat, because I've seen other scooters that have strap around the seat. Blarg. But that wasn't the case. When I brought it in, I was explaining to them that I have trouble closing her seat when I open it because of the bag situation. And they were explaining to me, oh, it's because you have the strap going around. And I'm like, yeah, I have the strap going around, but isn't that what this notch is for? And they're like, no, the notch is for like the side rack. There's like a bit of like a screw bolt underneath her carriage or whatnot. And I'm like, oh. And they're like, yeah, so you having the strap going underneath the seat is preventing the seal that basically clamps down for the seat to go down, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, I understood that was potentially an issue, but I was kind of hoping that that wasn't an issue because I had assumed that the whatchamacallit? The notches underneath her seat was for a strap to slip through, and that wasn't the case. So they were basically explaining to me what we could do is we take these straps and we melt a hole through the strap and we just screw it directly into the seat. I'm like, oh, we could do that? And they're like, yeah, we could screw directly into the seat. And I'm like, thinking of myself, I'm like, oh my god, I'm making some hard modifications to her now. This is permanent. And so we did that. And it's so much better. Her seat can now seal, which is great. And I've reattached a bag to her. But then, like the bigger bag. So I have my bag. What is it? I got the medium-sized bag before. But then I have the large-sized bag now. I had the large-sized bag before. I think it was like 35 to 40 liters. But now I have the bigger size, which I think is like 55 to 60 liters. That's like the extra large bag. And I strapped that onto her. It admittedly, meow, meow, meow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Admittedly, it's kind of chungus big, but also it's kind of like I'm thinking to myself, I need as much storage as I possibly can for camping gear. So like even then, I'm kind of worried that it's not big enough still. Let me see. I took pictures of it. Let me get pic. But then also on Friday, I had purchased a top case, right? I purchased a top case uh that I really wanted because one, it's an actual case, trunk case, and it seals shut. So that means it's also waterproof, which I've ridden enough rides to realize water is a curse. I love the rain, but probably not on a scooter because everything gets so sopping wet. I love the rain though. I really do. I love the rain. If it wasn't cold rain, I think I'd be more happy with it. But unfortunately, it is not. It is of the cold rain. Um, let me get this. Save this image. And the other thing that I liked about it was it was modular in the sense of this top case comes with metal racks that one I could fold out and they could be like temporary tables for me to like hold things while I'm like shifting or like doing inventory management. But two, they have like holes so that I could strap mole bags to it. So that when I was just like, I could add things to this trunk case. Now the only problem that I have is that the back rack. Let me post this picture up so that you can actually see like what I'm talking about. Because instead of me just blatantly yapping, boop, 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 boop. There you go. So you can see right here. There's the big bag, which you guys have seen. I usually have the smaller bag, the large size. This is an XXL size bag. And so I've added this one. And if you guys remember her old setup, she actually had that milk crate, the purple milk crate on her backside, which was, it was open and exposed. It was nice to like be able to easily just stick things in the milk crate, ease of use, just drop things in there. But I got this top case because it's like waterproof. The only problem is, as you can imagine, it's kind of big, right? It's kind of big, and her weight limit for the back is like 10 pounds. I think it said like 22 kilograms or something, but like I translated it and it was like about 10 pounds. So I need to figure out a way to add supports to her back end to support that weight. And so like you can kind of see right here, I've tried to screw in some like I got some carbon fiber pulls for like the camera. I don't know. I wanted to try to do it without needing to like have some hard manual labor work, like needing to grind up some custom bars because like I don't know how to do that, and I don't have access to any equipment that would allow me to do that. So I got these. If you like notice what these are, they're like camera selfie stick. They're camera carbon fiber, sticks. I got camera carbon fiber sticks, selfie stick thingies, because I was hoping they would fit, and carbon fiber is super light and super strong, but they don't fit. They sit there, but they're just slightly, ever so slightly too long. I think they're like half an inch too strong. So I need to figure out how to make it fit, how to add supports to it, to make it more stable and strong and support the weight. Life happens, that's understandable. Yeah, freaking roof bangers. She is blessed. I do not see the emote. Hi, Magnus. I'm doing okay. I'm doing a lot better now that the roof bangers have stopped. Becco doesn't want cold rain. Bring in the acid rain. I want hot tropical rain. That is like the funnest rain, I think. When it's hot tropical rain, it is like big fat globs that feels like the sky is hacking loogies into your face. And it's like taking a warm shower. It's super comfy. 10 pounds is 4.5 kilos. 22 kilos is 50. Hold on, let me take a look. Because I know it's 20 pounds. I calculated it. Let me see. Vespa scooter back rack. I don't want that rack. I have this one. Ish. No, I mean. Ow! Oh my god, the website doesn't say its capacity. It came with a sticker that's supposed to. Hold on. Capacity. Weight. Capacity. What is the weight capacity, guys? No, I want the weight capacity of the back. Top box weight limits. I have a hard metal rear rack, plastic top, blah blah blah. Both blah say. So both the rack and the box say they tolerate 3 kilograms of weight. Yeah, so 3 kilograms. So that would equal about 10 pounds, right? But the rack especially feel like it could take 5 times the weight. Why are these tolerances so low? Anyone have experience with overloading them, and by how much?
Yeah.
Meow. Lawyers speak for, we know you are going to stuff as much as possible in there, but we don't have the time and resource to test every possible combination, so we deny any responsibility for your actions. Yes, you can put a lot in there. The extra weight high up and far back can make the bike handle poorly. Work your way up to it carefully. Also be aware that even though the box and the rack are sturdy, the mounting points to the frame underneath are subject to a lot of dynamic stress, and something may crack over time. Be sure to inspect occasionally. Just ordered a top box, and I'm planning on using the bike for grocery shopping. There will be a lot more than 5 kilograms, what the manual says, in that box regularly. I already was dumb enough to try riding with a fully stuffed 55-liter backpack on, and let's just say the first few turns until I got used to it were super sketchy. Man, the weight is gonna be the problem for me. Like, driving with the weight is gonna be like, cause when I did the Oktoberfest with Artie / Nero, I could definitely feel it. All of the weight that was on my back of the scooter and high up, it definitely, I could feel it. But I was pretty fine. But I could feel the difference. I definitely could feel the difference in handling Sasha. Your dog couldn't sit on the back. He's 61 pounds. That's a lot of weight, man. Hi, Slasher. How are you doing? What year is the Vespa? 2024? I think it's 2024. 22? I think it's 2024, because I remember when I was selecting Sasha, I was between getting the newest year, which at the like last year I got Sasha, so it was between getting the current year, but they already had the year 2025s out, so I was debating getting the newest, most freshest year, or getting whatever the current version was. And I ended up getting Sasha, which is the older year. as opposed to the 2025s, because the 2025s had just regular color jobs, right? They were just regular colors, but they had a lot of like digital features that were super cool. So I was like really debating on the 2025s because they had a lot of like quality of life digital features on their console. But I ended up like I thought about it really hard. And everybody was saying like, well, what would you like? Like whatever style you comfortable, whatever design that you'd be happy with is the important thing, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you know what? That is kind of fair. Like a lot of the quality of life stuff were kind of super bonuses, and it's not like I would die without them. And I just couldn't stop thinking about Sasha's colorway. I couldn't stop thinking about Sasha's colorway, right? I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. 24. Your female passengers don't often enjoy being referred to as ballast. Becca is silly enough, she might not mind. What do you mean by ballast? Why are you referring to them as a ballast? Ballast. Like ship cargo? Does that mean I get a cool place to sit? Oh, a weight that creates balance? Yes! Do I get to be like oh, that sounds actually really cool. Wait. Have you seen? Oh, wait. Did I take pictures? Hold on. Let me look at my phone. Did I take pictures? They had like 2 different scooters at the shop that had like side carriage thingamajiggies. Oh, I don't think I took a picture of the shop. But they were super cool. I want to ride on a sidecar one of these days. I got really loud. I'm sorry for getting super loud. I want to ride on a side carriage. Oh my god, this reminds me that I went to Chinatown, right? And I saw a scooter there. I saw they had a 500cc. No, was it 500? They had a 300. My bad. They had a 300cc scooter. And I'm just like, I took pictures of their scooter. Maybe that's kind of weird. Do you wait. I need to ask you guys. If you guys see, let's say my car lovers out there in the community, if you see a smoking rockin' car that looks epic and cool, do you guys take pictures of it even though it's not your car and you don't know where the owner is, and like you are unable to ask for permission? Is that okay? Because I just, taking pictures of someone's scooter. Just taking pictures of someone's scooter, ever so casually. You take pictures of cool cars? Okay, good. At least I don't feel very alone. That's okay. That's fine. I was taking a picture of this guy's scooter, and they also had a top case. So I think they have the same top case that I do, except theirs doesn't have the mole racks on it. And I was trying to take a picture of like what their setup was. For my reference in terms of like how they attached it. Are they worried about the weight of this case? Which they didn't seem to be worried about the weight of the case, because they straight up just have the top case sitting there, ? So I don't know if I should be worried about it heavily. Granted, I am, right? I still am. I'm kind of worried about it heavily. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out like the laziest possible thing for me to do about this. Because never mind. I'm gonna open up Photoshop. That's the laziest thing that I could do. I wanna block out their license plate. Most don't mind. Most think of it as a compliment, right? If you think their ride is super fly and you're just like, damn, son, I want to get some of that. Like this looks super epic. I think most would take it as a compliment, I think. Yep, yeah. I'd be so excited if people were taking pictures of Sasha. She's kind of a hot mess right now, though. I don't really have like a thematic going-ons with her. I say this even though she has like a bunch of magnets. Everybody thinks they're stickers. There's only one of them that's a sticker, and then every other one is a magnet. So that way I could like remove it, shift things around. If they get dirty, I can remove it and then like clean underneath, right? I need it all to be temporary because I can't handle the thought of putting stickers on her and then like getting that gunk. So she only has one sticker on her. And that was only because I was feeling quite peer pressured when I picked her up, and they're like, you gotta tag her, you gotta make her your own, and like they were like, come on, do the sticker, and I'm like, ugh. And I put the sticker on her, which is it's this one right here, the one on her front case thing, the Becco one right there. So that's like the only sticker that's on her, and then well, is it that one? I think the one next to it might also be a sticker because I know that door is plastic, so there's no way there's a magnet there, and then everything else is a magnet because I'm weird like that. So these right down here, like on her side, and that right there, and that on her back, that's all magnets. That's all magnets. I like magnets, you know. It's great. They do the job just as well as stickers, and they're clean, you know. Let me see here. But I like this person's thing they did, and I didn't get to meet them, unfortunately, because I was just picking up my record that I had reserved. But I did drop them a sticker. Unfortunately, it was not the scooter sticker. I need to make more copies of the scooter sticker and just carry those around. / I need more scooter stickers. I need to have more scooter stickers, so that I can give that out more freely. Let's see. The sidecar photos were awesome. The sidecars? Yeah! Oh my god. I want to ride in one of them. I want to know what it's like. I really do. I don't know if I'd want to drive with one because I feel like that's a bit more complicated in terms of like handling the scooter. Oh my god. Riding Sasha after so long felt so comfy because it was just like, I don't know. It just feels good. It feels nice to just vroom vroom. But then I was also reminded about how cold it is to ride on her unprepared. If she's riding with heavy weights, her lower weight doesn't help her when maneuvering with weight. Yeah. So like if there's so much weight on the top, it doesn't matter if I have weight down at the base. 'Cause it's still like, it's like, have you ever had let's say a tail. Let's say you're like hypothetically a furry and you get one of those big bulky mechanical furry tails, or even not a mechanical furry tail. Let's say you just get a fat fox tail that's like filled to the brim with stuffing, because stuffing is heavy, okay? Freaking stuffing is heavy. And you strap it to your backside. Okay, that's the equivalent of adding these weights to the backside of Sasha, and then now try to wiggle your hips, and you just feel the weight shifting right behind you after you've done your maneuver. So if I'm doing like a turn at an intersection and I just feel the extra weight swaying follow through, the follow through weight, that's exactly what that's like. And it's like, you gotta be careful with that, because, you know, extra swinging of weight swings past the range you were hoping to do, and then it's just like, whee! You take pictures of cool cars. Out in public is legal. Out in public is legal. Okay. As long as it's in the parking lot, then it's fine. We're okay. Let me finish editing some of these pictures. Most don't mind. You took pictures of a Pontiac Furrow, or however it's spelled, and the owner revved it. Oh, they revved it! Ooh, you took one of a Corvette and the owner walked up and said, "I still take pics of it every day." Ah! That's so cute. Oh my god. That's so cute when they have so much love and admiration for their babies. Listen, that is absolutely adorable. That is absolutely adorable. Cheers to that Corvette owner. That's great. I need to take more pictures of Sasha. I really do. I need to take more pictures of Sasha. I really want to go and find like those murals. I was really hoping that the mural ride was that like we would actually go and stop at every mural and like take pictures and photo opportunities, but it literally was just we are driving past all of the murals. We are just gonna drive by all the murals, and there was very little to no picture taken time. So I need to go and find this map of all of the murals and then see if I could take some photogenic pictures of Sasha. That's what I want to do. We do have the Instagram. The human host body has an Instagram for Sasha adventures. Sasha adventures and stuff. Let me render this out. It's thinking. Where it's so easy. Magnets! Here, have a Beko sticker. Exactly. I give up the Beko stickers because they're a lot cheaper to make. And everybody else has like they're okay with the applications of stickers. I have issues with stickers because I'm just like, man, once I use it, it's gone. I have a hard time with stickers. It's a lot easier for me to use Beko stickers because at least I have a bajillion of them. But like if you give me, that's why if you ever give me stickers, I need like 3 copies. One to use, one to keep, and one in case of an emergency. I need like 3 copies of a sticker for me to actually use it. If I only have 1 copy of a sticker, then I will never use it, and I keep it as if it's like I don't know, a keychain, something, a business card. I keep the sticker and I don't use it. Unless you're in someone's driveway, they usually think it's cool when people think they're cool. I get so many compliments about Sasha. Like, anytime anybody sees me with Sasha or my helmet, I get so many compliments. It's so weird. I'm not used to getting so many compliments, right? Because, like, it's different. It's really different. But also, like, you know, I ride Freckles all the time. Freckles is just a very regular baseline vehicle car thing. Nobody really like compliments you on your car unless you have like a really massive expensive sports car, right? Really souped up customized sports car, maybe even not even customized, but like ritzy, rare, like uncommon vehicle. And then I rock up on Sasha and I get so many compliments, and it's just like, wow, it feels so nice, but also I'm just like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with the compliments. I get so embarrassed. I'm like, thank you. Okay, I gotta go. Goodbye. Like, thank you. Goodbye. I don't know what else to say about the conversation. You have never had a tail? Go get a tail. Go get something heavy and just strap it to your back. Heavy packs on a belt? Yeah, exactly like that. Heavy packs on a belt is exactly like that. Maybe you can do your own mural ride. I want to do my own mural ride. I think they gave a link showing a bunch of murals in town. I need to figure out where I can find murals casually. The murals of the coastal towns and cities are cool, like was it Immigrants one in Aberdeen? I don't know. Is there a website where I could just find a bunch of murals? With her concealed carry backup emergency use sticker. I need an emergency use sticker. I can't have just the one. So if you give me a sticker and you expect me to use it, I won't use it. If it's just a singular sticker, I won't use it. I need at the very least, I need 2. But the best scenario is 3. Let me see. Okay, so let's show this off. So this is the random person that I saw in Chinatown, and like, this is a Vespa scooter 300cc. Yeah, so this can go on the freeways. This is a 300cc. I would have gotten a 300cc so that I could have that speed. However, they are slightly larger than Sasha. Ever so slightly. They're ever so slightly larger than Sasha, right? And even when I ride Sasha, I still have to wear platform boots, right? I have to wear platform boots in order to ride Sasha comfortably. So, like, I don't know if platform boots would help me with this guy. And I'm trying to think. I also wasn't a huge fan of the colorways. This is like the brown. They have a blue and a red. I think those are the only colors. Blue, red. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, but like, you know, you could see this person's a nerd. They have the Fooly Cooly sticker at the front, just like Nero. Nero has the Fooly Cooly P sticker. This guy has the Fooly Cooly P sticker, but on top of that, hold on, let me get rid of this. They also, where is it? Where's the one that I censored? There you go. You could tell that they are a classic nerd as well, because, so you can see right there, they have the reincarnated as a slime sticker. They also have a nerve sticker. So they're into Evangelion. So they're a bit of a nerd. They're a bit of a nerd. And then you can see right here on their top dash, right there, I slotted them a Beko sticker. I gave them a Beko sticker. It wasn't a scooter one, but I slotted them a Beko sticker. I was debating putting it in their cup holder, but I put it on their dash. I didn't stick it on. Don't worry. They could do with it whatever they will. But they also have a top case. You see? They have a top case. And it looks kind of similar to the one that I have. But it's still heavy, right? It's still a knucking heavy top case. And I theorize that these top cases like weigh like 5 pounds. But they don't have any supporting brackets, right? Mine's probably heavier because I have the metal mole brackets on the back. But they don't have any like support rods or anything like that. I still would want some support rods. Oh, they've done some heavy riding through mud, it looks like. I'm noticing the mud down there. But yeah. Ooh, also. During her checkup, I got Sasha a side stand. She now has a side stand. Because she only had the center stand before, which is fine. It served its purpose. But now I have a side stand. And the benefits of having a side stand is, one, it's super like easier / faster to like stand her up. I would still prefer using the side stand. So if I can, I'd prefer using the side stand because I think that's questionably more stable, ? But two, there were some scenarios and situations where I found it difficult to put her on her side stand. And that would be situations where like I was at a certain incline. I found that if I'm on a certain incline, I can't put her on her center stand because I have to roll her up or down. Like I have to roll her either like if she's up a hill, if she's facing up a hill, I can't put her on her, hold on. I can't put her on her center stand because then it's like nearly impossible for me to get her off the stand. Or if I'm pointed downhill, I can't put her on her center stand because gravity will knock her off of it. If that makes any sense. Yeah, it's like really hard. And I think another one was if I was parking on gravel, I actually found it really hard to center stand her on like certain soft-footed gravel. And that's where certain situations like having a side stand would have been beneficial. Is when the side stand is super difficult for me to handle or maneuver. So I have both options. I have both options now, which is nice. It's great. I haven't used her side stand yet. I don't know how that feels. I haven't used it. I just used the center stand. I guess I should try out her side stand and see how that feels. You've seen some bare bones stock vehicles that just looked nice. You have a cool picture of a Prius. I mean, isn't Prius technically kind of bougie? Because that's still an uncommon Prius. Like, how many people have Priuses? I guess it's more these days, right? I guess my brother has a Prius. It's weird. I remember, it's weird to think that my brother has a Prius. Becca with her stripper heels and 500cc scooter? Never, never, ever again will I ever wear those stripper heels and try to drive a vehicular. Never, ever. Any sort of vehicular. Ever. Rimuru, a nerd with a scooter? What a surprise! You gotta be super nerdy! You know, I'm a massive scooter nerd. And it's so beautiful to see a scooter nerd and an anime nerd. Because it's kind of cool. Low-key, kind of. Need to get you one of those old military scooters with a machine gun side. I don't think anybody can casually own those, right? Those are like only military use, right? Off-road capabilities as well. Freaking everyone has a Prius. You see them everywhere. Maybe I just don't know what Priuses look like anymore. I just don't know what Priuses look like. But yeah. Hold on. Do I have another picture of this scooter? Yeah, I took a picture of like underneath. I spent 2 hours trying to attach this top case to Sasha. It shouldn't have taken me that long. So they got the universal top case. This plastic bottom that they have, I can't point to it. I can't show you guys, but like that plastic bottom, I've seen it. And it's considered the universal mount. The universal like case mount, question mark. But my case had its own mount. It's like a metal mount. And so it allows me to actually slide the top case on and off. So there's actually a lock. So if you look at my top case, there's a lock at the bottom. And that locks to the bottom plate. So I could slide the top case on and off if I really wanted to. This one I think you have to hard screw it on? Question mark? No. You have to be able to slide it on. There has to be a way you can slide it on and off. Because how in the world do you screw that on? But I was trying to see like how they mounted theirs. Oh wait, do they have an extra support? I was trying to see how they mounted theirs to get an idea of how to mount Sasha's, but I'm trying to. What is that extra plastic at the bottom? I don't know, but it's pretty cool. They have a top case. That's pretty cool. Mine is on a metal plate, which I'm hoping doesn't like horrendously scrape up the back bracket, but knowing my luck, it'll most likely murder it. In which case, I'm kind of wondering if there's any silicone like wrappings that I could wrap around the metal. But like, I spent 2 hours trying to mount it because I first of all was trying to figure out how to mount it by myself because it has a screw that needs to use an Allen wrench to screw, but then also a lug nut thing that I need to hold with a wrench at the bottom, while also keeping the plate in the position on the back rack at the same time while I'm doing all of the maneuverings, and it just kept wiggling. So that was really difficult, and I put it on, and I did all of that, and then I tried to put the top case on and realized that it was too far back, that it didn't have enough space for me to slide the top case into the locking mechanism. So then I had to take it all off again, and then I had to re-put it back on in a further out position so that I could slide the case in, and that took a really long time, and my back was hurting because I was being dumb and arching over it. So then eventually I just sat on Sasha and like where the black bag is, I took the black bag off, sat on Sasha facing backwards, and just kind of slumped over in my back rack to just install the bracket in. Yeah, that's me trying to work a lot of like crouching over and just being weird. I was like melted cat on top of Sasha. Ease of use does speed things up. Yeah, that's true. That case mount. Look at the case mount. Look at the case mount. The little stars are so cute. Yeah, so you guys might recognize that. I got those stars off of, is it AliExpress? So they're supposed to be reflective stars. I was trying to add as much like reflector stuff as possible onto Sasha, and when she had the milk crate, I had just attached the stars to the bottom of the milk crate, and now that I've added in the top case, freaking thankfully, because of the mole bag mounts, the mole grate mounts or whatever you call these, I could attach the stars to there, and those are supposed to be reflective stars. So I'm like trying to add for visibility, but now I'm super excited. You guys have no idea how I'm sorry. I'm like nerding out really hard about scooters to you guys. I didn't realize I was gonna spend this entire stream. What was I saying? I'm so excited about this top case, right? It's kind of expensive, but like the normal standard top case that you get with scooters is like a dinky plastic top case, which is just enough space to put a helmet in, which, keeping in mind, none of those will fit my helmet because I've
Ads are
modified
dropping in 2 minutes.
I've modified my helmet to have cat ears. So like any standard size case for helmets no longer fit my helmet because I'm weird like that. Even my bag, like the helmet bag that my helmet originally came in, that I used to use, like I used to wrap my helmet and then like hang it off the side of Sasha, it no longer fits my helmet because of the ears. So I just have to deal with it. I either just hang it fully exposed off of Sasha, or I carry it with me into the store. So I've done that to myself, and I accept this. I needed to have the cat ears. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I'm so excited about the freaking top case because it's in my brain. I just really love modular things. And if you look at this top case, one, it's super sturdy. It's waterproof. I love these mole grates. The mole grates are amazing because I could just add and strap things to it. So if I have any like mole bags and I decide to like add things to it, I could just strap it, just simply strap it on. And if I go camping, I saw there's this one scooter guy that I watch for his crazy scooter loadout. I think you guys have seen me post about him, or you guys have posted him to me. But I have watched him before. And like his scooter modifications is insane. Right? His scooter modifications is like, he literally adds like 200 pounds to his scooter. It's insane. And he has so much like EDC equipment on there and whatnot. So like his top case in the back, he doesn't have the mole setup. So he has a top case that's similar to mine. But in his setup, he straps a shovel and hatchet to the back of his top case. In order to do so, he had to screw in holes to his top case, no longer making it was like no longer waterproof because he screwed holes into it. And that's what he did to his top case. But I don't have to do that. If I end up getting a hatchet and a shovel, guess what? I have these mole grates, and I can just strap it to the freaking back. Let me show you. I need to show you. Hold on. Let me put this picture somewhere. Oh my god. Hello. I'm just freaking out over here. I'll put this over somewhere here, and hopefully it can stop getting attached to things. No, not yet. Hold on. Let me get you over here, and you could sit over there and not be attached to anything. And let me go find it. He was like, he's called the scooter guy. And I keep watching his like videos.
Ads incoming.
His scooter setup videos. Is it called the
ADSR running
guy?
for 180 seconds.
I think it's called the scooter guy. Is it called the scooter guy? Okay, wait, hold on. I messaged it to Nero. Right here it is.
This is the second part.
Okay, we don't need to hear that. I kind of, so like the back rack that I was explaining to you guys with the support, I'm trying to think of the support. I'm trying to like theme it. Is the word theme it? Mimic it. I'm trying to replicate what this guy did, right? So, but without doing any hard modifications like what he did, because I don't want to do really hard modifications. Look at his scooter. First of all, let's look at his scooter. Sorry, I'm nerding out. Let me see what you guys are saying. You still love how she pronounces mole? What do you mean? Mole. Is Sasha 50cc? Sasha is 150cc. She's 150cc. So a little bit stronger. I did not want to go with 50cc because I already have a motorcycles license. So there's no reason for me to get a 50cc. I have a motorcycles license. There's no reason for me to get a 50cc. It was either going to be a 150 or 300cc so that I could utilize the fact that I have a motorcycles license. A 50cc is fine for beginners, and especially if you don't have a motorcycles license at the time of purchase. But if you have a motorcycles license, you might as well go for the 150 and above. You know. I'm just saying. Unless the 50cc has like a special colorway you just absolutely desperately need. When have you not nerded it about scooters and mopeds? Not all the time. Listen, not all the time. I used to never, ever, rarely talk about it because nobody else was into scooters. And I felt like me nerding out about scooters was like of nobody's interest. And they would like tune me out hardcore because it's like, who in the frick cares? I've loved scooters like literally all my life, but I don't talk about them as often as I have been, like literally the last 2 years ish. I don't know what happened. What happened that I started like blurbing out all of my scooter obsession to you guys? Was it the fact that I just hard baked the scooter into the bounty hunter design because like Shia had designed a ship for herself and I just thought about it. I'm like, man, she designed a vehicle for herself. I want a vehicle. Screw it. I'm giving bounty hunter Becca a scooter. Was that it? Was that the fall of my demise into my like open nerdism about scooters? Was just designing a freaking scooter baked in to the bounty hunter. Yes, bounty hunter gets a scooter baked in design. Becca is streamer. Becca controls the stream content. Becca is law. The law is scooters. Hi shiny dude, welcome back. How are you doing? Sorry, I'm yapping really hard about my nerdism. Let me see here. There are ways to seal screw holes. Yeah, you could do like the silicone sealant, but it's like never perfect. I mean, it could be perfect, but it could be also ugly at the same time. Yes, a lot of ways. Sure you don't. Becca, your streams is to nerd about stuff you like to an audience. I mean, you're here for it. You're here for my absolute nerdism over scooters. Let me see, hold on. And if Becca is looking for a hatchet and shovel, you recommend a Fiskars hatchet. They are quality and an entrenching shovel would be perfect. I kind of want something that's also portable. I was debating getting like a full
Shiny
size.
Dog Salungunit View has deemed it necessary to water the cat.
Wow, oh God bless.
Thank you for the hydration, shiny dude, and also congratulations, Kaiju, for being boob champ. Yeah, you can start hearing the raspiness in my voice, can't you? What was I saying? Oh, I was debating getting like a full-on lumberjack axe, but then I thought about it, right? And so like a lot of like my motivations of trying to figure out how to pack for camping comes from this guy, and like I'm just like he has a tiny camping axe. If you were a transformer, what would you transform into? Absolutely a scooter. Why the frickin' heck not? Absolutely ducking scooter. A Vespa scooter. A really cool looking ducking frickin' Vespa scooter because vroom vroom pew pew. Oh my god, smog. Ow. Wah. Boop champ? Hydrate before boop champ? Exactly. Bruh. Your ears are extra amusingly animated today. Really telegraph my excitement. Frickin' I'm only talking about scooters too. It's not like anything super excited has happened other than me installing my new top case. By the way, can I just say the top case has like a pleather insert liner. Can I just say opening that top case smells so good. It is similar to new car smell. Like if your new car has like that nice pleather innards, opening the top case and just getting a good whiff smells so nice. You know, it does. It just smells so nice. It smells like new car in a top case installed on the back of Sasha. I love it. I love it. I like open it and I get a good whiff and I'm like, nice. And then I close it so that I could try to preserve the smell for as long as possible. Entrenching shovels are foldable. Oh, I need to show you this guy's the shovel thing setup. The small hatches are good for camping in the lake. You swerve around the Okay, so just looking at his naked scooter, look at the modifications. He has a windshield one. He has the super tall windshield. I haven't committed to having a super tall windshield because I heard that they actually don't do anything. They don't do too much. They, according to laid back camping anime, they do say that they help with fatigue, right? With the wind beating against your face, that they help with fatigue. However, I have heard horror stories from other scooter people that say that they've had like the super large windshields and like the winds can potentially catch the windshield and cause steering, the handlebar steering wobble, which is quite terrifying. Like I've had it like I think once. I think I had steering wheel wobble once, and that was actually slightly terrifying. It wasn't as bad as some of the videos that I've seen. And so like I haven't gotten that modifications yet. Funnily enough, I have gotten every single other rack and bar and like the side like protective bars, and I walk in, I rock up into the shop and they like joking with me saying like, "Hey, do you want another like rack? You want to install another rack?" And I look at them like, "What?" And they're like, "I'm joking with you. You have the maximum amount of racks you possibly can for a scooter." At least factory racks, at least. I've seen some side racks for like side saddlebags. I haven't committed yet if I want saddlebags because I did meet a moto camper at the shop one time, and I was asking about their bag loadout. So they have like a backpack they strap into the center bit, and then a top rack and a bag on the back seat, like on the back of the seat. And I asked, no saddlebags, right? Because in my head at that point, I was still on the mindset of I would get saddlebags. You can see on the Beko scooter, I did design it with saddlebags. Because why the heck not? More storage, more carry. And he was just like, no, well, he thought about it, but the benefit of having the scooter is having the sleek profile. And I thought about that. I'm like, you know what? He's right. Adding the saddlebags adds more width to have to accommodate for. And I'm just like, so for as long as I possibly can, I'm trying to see if I can make my setup without saddlebags to keep with that sleek profile. And it's come more real for me, especially with like the way my neighborhood is, the way that my neighborhood is, um, there's not a lot of parking. So there tends to be a lot of people that will park on the side of things or block driveways and things like that. Having Sasha has been super beneficial for me to like actually leave my unit because she can fit through like spaces, and there's like a slot between vehicles that I have to slip through every single time that only Sasha can go through, and it's the exact size of Sasha right now. And if I were to add saddlebags, I would not be able to leave with Sasha. So for the time being, I am trying my best to avoid saddlebags, as beneficial as I know it would be to have that extra space. The exact slimmage she is has been really beneficial for me where I live, because I can't escape otherwise. Because I can't. Like, sometimes, even over the weekends, I can't leave with Freckles unless I know that I'm leaving for the weekend. So then I have to park Freckles outside of my garage. If I leave Freckles in the garage, I can't leave if over the weekend, because my garage is just blocked up. And so that's when Sasha comes in handy, because she could leave. She's tiny enough that she could leave. And so, like, sometimes if I do streams on the weekend and I require Freckles, I have to remember that I'm doing that, and I have to, like, park him outside of the garage so that I'm able to leave. Let me see. Now we're talking about naked scooters? No, I don't think so. No, pause. Pause on what? Death Wobble? Yeah, the Death Wobble. Death Wobble is super scary. The rack mods. Yeah. Becca about to get in the scooter illegal mod arc. Is there a legal mod? Well, no, there is, actually. Because I've read that having special lighting, any additional lighting, is, like, illegal. And I have seen some scooter people that have, like, the light bars. And I want to light up and illuminate Sasha so badly. I want to, like, I think I was talking to you guys about the underglow or things like that. And that they're technically illegal, but it would help Sasha be so much more visible at night, right? Not that I do any night driving. I have, because of the scar in my eye, it's really difficult for me to drive at night. It's super difficult for me to drive at night. So I try my best to avoid night driving, especially on Sasha. If it's difficult for me to see, I don't imagine it'll be easy for anybody else to see me. Granted, I think a lot of people notice me very easily and a lot because, one, Sasha's white, and two, I have a knucking weird helmet since I've added the cat ears. I get so many people staring at me. I think it's kind of hard for them to not notice me as of right now. It could be better, right? They could notice me a lot better if I have bright beaming lights. But I do believe I am quite visible to people because I look weird. Weird. Saddlebags are nice, but add a lot of width. Yeah, that's the problem, is the adding of the width. I need to slip by things. I've found a lot of situations where I do need to slip by, like, small spaces with Sasha, and she is the perfect size right now to slip by a lot of spaces. Becca needs more inventory upgrade. That's why I upgraded my bag. I had a large bag. I've upgraded to the extra large. You saw the back of Sasha? She has the bag she has now. If you look at the two different, I don't know if I have any old pictures of Sasha right now. But, like, this bag on the back of Sasha, that's the extra large. That's not the normal size bag that, like, she usually has. I upgraded her bag size to be able to fit more camping gear. Where is it? Do they have any pictures of Sasha without needing to download them? Nope. I'm gonna need to look at the Discord. Where's the Discord? Pictures. Sasha. Scooters, my beloved. I have, like, two different channels. Survival. stuff. Bekogenning. Sasha. There you go. I think I should have a picture with her in the bag somewhere. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's kind of hard to see the size. The other bag doesn't look any different. And this is before I had her bag. I just need to take a picture of the two bags side by side. The new bag is, in my feeling, the last bag was the perfect size to be super comfy for like casual days, that like day stuff. This other bag, this extra large bag, I feel like is too big to be casual, to just casually have it on the back. It feels too big. The last one, I feel like the size proportion was just sturdy enough, but this one is slightly too big that it's not super sturdy in its like silhouette. So like one example is my previous bag. When I have it set up, because the bag can fold down, right? I haven't tried it with the extra large, but when you unfold it and you set it up, the smaller bag retains its shape really nicely. This extra large, if you look at the top of the bag, it kind of sinks down a little bit, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm just like, man, it's not that great, but it does allow for more space. So we'll see how that goes, I guess. Blarg. Blarg. More storage for the stickers. That is also true. I can add more. I need to add more stickers into the bag so that I have them at the ready. Wait, do I have any stickers in there? I don't think I do. Now that you've mentioned it, where's my stickers? Wait, where are my stickers? I thought I just got some new stickers. Hold on. Are these all new stickers? Are these all new stickers? Okay. They're slightly curling because I had them in this cup. I'm going to Ziploc these scooter stickers. I got a new batch of scooter stickers, and I'm going to stick them in the Sasha's bag so that I will always have some scooter Sasha stickers on Sasha. Well, scooter stickers on Sasha. I still need to... I want to make a... So, like... I still want to make an outfit design that matches Sasha. So right now, the bounty hunter outfit is designed to a fictitious scooter. Specifically a Honda Super Cub. So the scooter that the bounty hunter Beko uses is a Honda Super Cub, and it's a fictitious purple designed Beko Honda Super Cub. Someday, if Honda decides to sponsor me and wants a collaboration, we got a Beko scooter Honda Super Cub design that they could make for me. You know, whenever I get big enough and they want to do a collaboration, Honda, I'm here for it. I really liked your Hello Kitty collaboration Honda Super Cub, and I think a Beko Honda Super Cub would look really nice in the purple and black with the flowers and stuff, and we could do some really cool things with the seat. I'm just saying, Honda, if you ever notice me and revere me as a scooter enthusiast and would love to sponsor me for a scooter collaboration, I think it would look really good, and I think a lot of people would really like the design. I'm just saying. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I'd like to make an outfit specific, a Beko outfit specific to match Sasha's blue and white, which is going to be weird, right? Maybe? It's going to be weird. I've never imagined myself in blue and white. I don't know how weird that's going to look, or if I'm still just going to be purple and we just try to shoehorn that with the blue and the white. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I think...
I'ma clip you and tag Honda so they can see your plea.
Please, Honda! I'll make scooter content on your Honda Super Cubs. It'll be amazing. It'll be great. I need to get a bajillion followers. Where are all of my Honda? Where's the Honda Super Cub community? They gotta follow me and endorse me as an awesome Honda Super Cub mascot. Maybe? I would probably need a Honda Super Cub to begin with to start attracting a Honda Super Cub enthusiasts. If only I could import. The pre-orders are closed now, but I really wanted that Hello Kitty Honda Super Cub. I really, really wanted it, and it was super affordable too. But it was only sold in Japan, and I don't know how to import vehicles. I need friends in Japan that will order this Hello Kitty Honda Super Cub for me, because my god, I really want it. It's super cute. Anyway, I'm yapping too hard. What is this? Just become an expert at fiberglass and resin, then you can design and craft your own custom box, even from carbon fiber. That would be
Emergency
amazing.
Donathon for a Honda Super Cup.
But I don't. The pre-orders are done. It's over. It's over. It's done. The pre-orders are done. I have to get like aftermarket or find somebody that's willing to sell their Honda Super Cub and then ship it overseas, right? It's too complex. The moment is gone and past. The moment is gone and past, Sag. It's fine. It's okay. I'll wait till the next collector's limited edition collaboration to think my way to a Honda Super Cub. She probably has a dedicated pouch for them. I have a Ziploc, but like I think it was on my previous bag. I think it was on the handbag that I carry. I've also changed my handbag. I used to have the pink canvas bag, but it's a canvas bag, so like anytime it would rain, it would just get sopping wet. So I recently went to Uniqlo, and they had a pouch sling bag, and it said that it was waterproof. So I got that bag and have been using that since. I still like the other one because it had like 4 pockets, so it was nice for like different pocket organization. The Uniqlo one only has 1 pocket, which makes me kind of sad because that means I just toss everything in there and hope it fits. But I'm hoping that the waterproof makes up for it, because riding in the rain makes everything wet. Absolutely everything. When you're gonna get a Harley, when their live wire has an accommodating seat height for me. Because I test rode was it a Harley? I think it was Harley Davidson Livewire. I did test ride it, and I was still wearing my platform boots, but the seat height was like 31 or 32 inches, the crotch height, which is slightly too tall for my crotch, okay? I could not touch the ground, and I am not experienced in being a tiny driver on a large motorcycle yet, so I did not know how to stop the vehicle once I had stopped and completely like flopped over like a wet noodle. So once they make a motorcycle that accommodates for my tiny stature, then I can get a Harley, you know? But I will say, riding that Harley Livewire was really nice and smooth, by the way. The electric motorcycle, so quiet, so peaceful. Some people miss like the revving of the motor and things like that. But in my brain, like sometimes when I ride Sasha and she makes a lot of noise, sometimes I get worried that she's actually screaming at me for help. So, sometimes I worry about that.
Height issue? Damn, classic Beko. The ones your size are often sold for children.
Was it Rosari Mean? Alice? Hada, thank you so much for the follow. With every level I grow stronger. Thank you. What did you say? Height issue, classic Beko, the ones your size are often sold for children. And there's nothing wrong with boosting the power for the ones for children. There's nothing wrong with making street league. No, I'm joking. just make the children's one freeway legal. They actually have micro bikes. Listen, they have the micro bikes that are also
Shiny
street
Dude
legal.
sa Lungguhit Reel has deemed it necessary to water the cat.
Thank you so much for the hydration. And those are nucking cute, okay? Those are nucking cute. I would ride those. If I got a sponsorship for those micro bikes, I would ride them because they're so nucking cute. And they go vroom vroom, and if they're really fast, yeah, let's go. Several dedicated pouches. Have you seen the scooters with like 1 million? Yes, I have. The frickin' mods. The mod scooters. Them insane mirrors. They're crazy. They're insane. You are weird. You too. You could see Becco getting a low bumper 10,000 lumen forward light. What the frick? Low bumper for like the foggy days. Still love how Avi is just dangling. She's there. She's there. Gotta take her with me, man. Cause she's a wasp, right? And Vespas were named after the wasp design. Why not take the wasp on the wasp vehicle? Becco building up and out, but not sideways. Becco's going to look like a wall. I will look like a wall. Even the spooky Becco likes scooters. Ooh, you're gonna clip? Yes. Does an accord count? Accord what? Emergency donathon? Guys, what is it? Hello. Balls. Did you know bees like balls? Did you know bees absolutely love balls, by the way? Was it Rosariamin? Hold on. Rosariamin. Alice. Balls. What? Yes. Passionate Becco. Yes, I have a lot of passion for scooters. They're super adorable, and I wish there was more scooters in this world, or at least in the Western world. There should be more scooter lovers out there. We need to have more scooter accommodations. When I was in Europe, they have specific parking spots for scooters. They accommodate for scooter accommodations, you know, make it more accessible. It makes more sense. Smaller commutes, shorter distances, as well as like eco-friendly. There were so many scooters everywhere on the roads, on the sidewalks, everywhere. But we don't have that here. We don't have that here. We have scooters taking up parking spots of regular cars, and so when cars pass by looking for parking spaces and they think they see one, and then they pass by and they get angry because it's actually a scooter or a motorcycle in that slot, and they get super pissed off because they see that tiny little vehicle taking up a whole vehicle spot, and they're just like, man, I should just ram over that motorcycle, like it doesn't deserve that spot. Have you ever been that? Have you ever seen that? There are people that think that, because I know that, because I have thought about that. I have thought about how much of a waste of space it is to have a motorcycle take up a whole car slot vehicle when it could park other places that like take up less space because they are small, but you're forcing them to be a waste of space by having them slot into a vehicle like a car slot, right? There was one time when I was driving, I was going somewhere with Belle and he was in his car and I was on Sasha and I followed him to like a gas station. I didn't want to take up a whole nother slot. So he parked in a car parking spot and I just parked behind his car in the same parking spot. And there was still enough room, like nobody would ram into me or anything. His car was actually really short. He had a short front to back end car. So there was a lot of space behind his car and I could just park in his spot. And he wasn't going to like ram into me, you know, he's just... So it's just like, if you have vehicles that are a lot smaller that could take up less space, let them accommodate, like let them take up less space and accommodate multiple spots for the smaller spaces. Or like when I go to Costco or whatnot, sometimes I park on the sidewalk as opposed to taking up a full spot because I feel bad because I know what it's like to be in a car and like begrudgingly look for parking spots, right? And it's just so frustrating because there are so many car drivers. Why are there so many car drivers? Because I was what was it? Sometimes when I drive on Sasha, I have this like mental realization of how inefficient cars are and just how much space they take up. Just how much space they take up. And like a lot of people that drive cars, it's just themselves. But if they're like, you know, it's understandable if you're like, oh, you're doing a large load and you're carrying a lot of things and you need the space. I get that, right? Because I have to figure out what Sasha can carry every time I go grocery shopping. I get that. But then I also think to myself, like, oh, I'm literally just driving myself. I think I went to the mall. It was when I went to the mall. I drove to the mall on Sasha and just, the mall is insane. in my area, and there is like absolutely never any parking. There are too many cars there that are like trying to find parking. It's sometimes really scary to just exist in the mall because there are just too many cars trying to park, and every single car is carrying a single person. And I just thought to myself that, man, cars are kind of really, they take up a lot of space, don't they? They take up a crap ton of space. Because I eventually, after like not finding a parking spot, I think I eventually just parked next to the wall. There's like a, in the parking spot, you know how like sometimes they mark out spaces that are not for parking, like a little triangle to like a filler space to be like a spacer between some sort of structure. There was like a wall that like encased this dumpster thing, but it was like right next to the mall in the middle of the parking lot. I don't know what you call those things, but they had like lines dictated around it as like spacers. I just ended up parking Sasha there as opposed to taking up a whole parking spot. Went in, did my quick business, left, and it was super simple. Super clean, super simple. Yeah. Car infrastructure. You hate car infrastructure. It's going to the mall that I have those thoughts. It's when I go to the mall and see the parking lot, the state of the parking lot, that I have those thoughts. Turbocharge that thing. When I think the shop people, the scooter shop, told me once she's past her warranty, there's such a thing as like big boy kits. And she could be upgraded to go faster, technically, but I don't know too much about that. A pit bike? Is that what they're called? I'm not sure. Bowels. Pudding does like balls. You asked and they confirmed. Exactly, I did too. I asked and Pudding confirmed that they like balls. Scooters often do give out big European energy, but I mean, that's because there's so much of it over there, you know? It just makes sense. And it's something that we could accommodate here, but we have so much like motorcycle hate here. We have so much motorcycle hate here, and it's so unfortunate because it's like, yes, we both have really dumb drivers. We have both really dumb motorcycle drivers, but guess what? We also have really dumb truck drivers, and we have really dumb car drivers. So it's just kind of like everybody's kind of dumb drivers, and we do have the dumb motorcycle drivers that make the car drivers really angry, and it creates that ecosystem where there's so much hate for the motorcycle drivers. However, there's also a lot of scenarios like the parking lot thing that creates a lot more hate for the motorcycles, because I have been in a car and I have been looking for parking spot, and then I get really excited thinking there's an empty spot, only to see a tiny itty bitty motorcycle taking up a whole car spot, and I get really, really angry, right? And I have been in cars where the driver straight up wants to just mow down the motorcycle because they think it's an inefficient use of space, and it absolutely is. It absolutely is. Sorry, I didn't need to get super passionate and heated with my rant about it, but it's true, right? And having the scooter motorcycle being inefficient in their use of space is not winning them points to car drivers. It's not winning them points for car drivers. So there's a lot of car drivers that hate motorcycles, unfortunately. But if you encouraged like more benefits to the motorcycles that aren't detrimental to their health, by the way, because lane splitting is very detrimental to their health, like having designated motorcycle parking spots, maybe things would be a lot better, and maybe you'd have less car drivers be pissed off at motorcycles taking up parking spots. Bell in a smart car. He didn't have a smart car. He had a Chevy Spark. He had a Chevy Spark, but he sold his Chevy Spark, so he doesn't have a Chevy Spark anymore. You saw a man on a scooter with a sawed-off over-under double-barreled shotgun? What? Like a gun strapped to his scooter? It was strapped to the scooter like it would be to a... What do you mean to a horse? How is it strapped to a horse? How do you strap that to a horse? I don't even know how it's strapped to a horse. Time to sell freckles? Not yet. I still need freckles for some things. Like when the weather gets super cold and I need like to go someplace, or when I need to buy like something huge and it's too big for like Sasha right? Sasha's been super beneficial because I am using a lot less gas for a lot of my errands, and like it allows me to go do minor shopping, because before, anytime I need to go out, I hated going out so much that I would pile all of my errands into a single day. So if I needed to do shopping, if I needed to go to the post office, and I'd try to like bundle as many errands as I possibly could into like a single day, so that way I just do it all, and like it, you know, make it worth my while to drive out, because I understand that driving out requires gas. But on Sasha, it's a lot easier for me to do like minor tasks, and it doesn't hurt as bad. I can do a lot more, and literally to fill up Sasha only cost me $5. And I do a lot more. I've gone out a lot more with her. Still short distance, right? Because driving long distance is still kind of scary. But it's kind of like comfy to go to the store now, and I can casually go to the store. When I go to my local grocery store, you know how they have the shopping cart, what do you call it, a stall? The shopping cart storage stall thing in the middle of the parking lot, and then next to it they sometimes have the triangle spacers. That's where I park when I go to my local grocery store. I park in the triangle spacer between the shopping cart rack, and that's where I park, as opposed to taking up a whole parking spot. Because I'm trying to be accommodating to all of the other cars. Because I know what it's like. I know I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to legally park in... I think the rule says I need to park in a parking spot that is designated for cars. That is what the law says. But I also feel bad when I go to parking lots and it's super knucking full of like cars, and cars struggling to find spots, and I'm this tiny little thing that doesn't need to take a full spot to itself. And so I try to find, I think there's a, I think even when I go to the Asian market, there's a shopping cart rack that I park into, and the reason why in my brain I feel like that's okay is because it's still the rack that they put the shopping cart rack in. The space they put it in is actually a slot for a car. Does that make sense? It's a parking slot, but they just put the rack in there instead. So it's not possible for a car to fit in it because the rack is in there. But Sasha can fit in the tiny sliver between the rack and the other end of the parking spot line. So I park her there. And it's technically, legally, a car parking slot. But they've filled it with the shopping cart rack. And that's usually where I try to park. I try to park next to the shopping cart rack because they put them in car slots. But they tend to be smaller than the whole slot, if that makes any sense. If that makes any sense. There's been a couple of times where the store actually allows me to park on the sidewalk itself. So when there's a different Asian grocery store that I go to, and I was trying to look for parking, and there was a guy, the worker, that was getting the shopping carts, and he was just like, oh. He points at me, and he's like, come here. Like, go to the front. And he had me park on the front sidewalk, like the front entrance of the store, underneath the awning, because it was raining that day. And he was just like, now you have cover to protect your bike from the rain. You know, I'm just like, thank you so much. He's just like, yeah, you can park here. It's okay for you to park here. I'm like, oh, it's so nice. And I don't take up a spot. Sorry, that's a whole random tangent. Isn't that like double super mega illegal? Which one? Oh, strapping firearms? It probably is. You like your little truck? It fits you, a dog, a full elk, and some guns and ammo. It's perfect. I actually was looking at the tiny K trucks. K trucks are kind of really cute. I don't think I need a super big burly truck. I was looking at K trucks. If I were to ever like get another vehicle other than Freckles, I feel like if they have a really modern, like up-to-date K truck, I would like those. Those are kind of cute. Law legally forced an area to have 200 feet parking lots. Wait, really? Like every area needs to have 200 feet of parking lot? Like that's the smallest baseline standard? Because that's insane. That's really insane. They need to have scooter and motorcycle parking spots, and they take up half of the space, right? And if they did that, guess what? How much you want to bet more and more people would start using scooters because they have parking spots dedicated to them, and that they now want to reap that benefit. Guess what? They totally would. They totally would. The lack of pedestrian infrastructure is what gets you. It sucks that less and less places are accessible by walking. That's also true. That's also true. I tried walking to the store one time, and I streamed it to the tea room, and it was quite terrifying experience because I live right next to a freeway, and there's no sidewalk. There's no sidewalk. There's no what was it? There's no you know the walk sign? There's no like pedestrian walk thing for me. I have to just kind of wait till there's no cars going off of the freeway and hope that I don't get run over. So, yeah. Well, that's not the best. You still would love to have a car. You're
Dicks!
Hi, Bloodify. That actually hurt my ears a little bit. Lowers down the volume. You sick of taking the bus? Yeah, the bus like triples the time for like any commute, unfortunately. It's extra paperwork, but it's not illegal. He did have to put the gun in his leg holster when he left his scooter for obvious reasons. Yeah, can't leave it unattended. That would be very bad. See you, Shiny Dude. Thank you so much for stopping by. 4 bikes parked in one spot. Exactly. The amount of space that you could save if you designated just motorcycle / scooter parking spots, because 4 bikes could fit into a single spot. However, you've delegated that they need to stick like one spot per car spot sort of thing. So some bikers, if they are partnered with somebody else, like if they're riding with a buddy or whatever, they will share a spot if they can. But if they're by themselves, then they're forced to take up a whole slot. And if you're some rando stranger, it's not like you can rock up next to their spot just to save space, right? That'd be kind of rude to just rock up next to some other guy's bike. Be like, hi, I just want to save some space and park next to you in this nice car spot. Question mark. When you were at uni, there was a cheap place that had scooters for sale. 2 guys did a startup scooter business, and they mainly sold 50cc's, Wolf Islander, and RTX 50s. So our town in the middle of nowhere had so many scooters everywhere. See, and it's in the middle of nowhere, so that actually makes sense, right?
Hello.
It makes sense. And it's super
Itsalungguhit
accessible.
misalungguhit,
Also, you
Archie
don't
has
need-
deemed it necessary to water the cat.
You don't need a motorcycle license for 50cc, so it was probably really, really accessible for a small town. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for the hydration. So it makes sense. Sorry. Bell does give Chevy Spark
Hello?
energy. Why Chevy Spark energy? Hello? He really why? Why is that the energy he gives off? What's the energy that I give off? What kind of I mean, not talking about the fact that I obsess with scooters and everything, but like if you met me without talking about scooters, what kind of vehicle energy do I get? You would love to go to Round 1 Arcade without having to deal with 2-hour bus rides, then a train. Yes. Yeah. Ooh, and a train and 2-hour bus rides. That's pretty awful. You're too scared to be a motorcyclist. You're a highway land. You're in highway land. Isn't there like grocery stores and stuff though that's like kind of nearby? Like if you ever need to go grocery shopping or if you ever need to go see pudding. Maybe you think you're like massively in highway land, but maybe there's a lot more surface streets than you think. Because obviously when I drive and I use the GPS will find the fastest route. And it's always going to pick the highway. It's always going to pick the freeway. But like when I ride on Sasha, I have to like turn that setting off to avoid highways. And it does like triple sometimes, like some timestamps, question mark, or double. It does add timeage because you're not using the freeway. But there are a lot of surface streets available. I thought that I'd be kind of screwed because I'm so used to doing freeway and highway on Freckles. But with Sasha, like, it takes a little bit more time for some places to go surface street. But also at the same time, you're kind of enjoying the ride anyway, right? You're just vibing. It's more of like, okay, it takes more time, but also it's like, how do you say it? When you ride for enjoyment, you're multitasking. You're riding for enjoyment and trying to get someplace. If you're trying to go someplace really speedy, you know, eventually, yeah, I would probably need to up my CC to like 300 CC and be worried about freeway and being mowed down by cars on the freeway. I think the only time I have to worry is that there is a pseudo mini freeway that it does sometimes send me on. But it's like a 2-lane freeway. So it's a lot safer for me, and that's only if I go up into the city. That's only if I go into like the mainstream city that it sends me on this 2-lane highway. But it's not terrible, and it's actually kind of fun because it does allow me to drive Sasha like 60 miles per hour, like the top speed that Sasha can hit, like the 60-65 is actually kind of exciting, but also scary, but also really cool to drive her that fast and know that she can drive that fast. Every day on the news you hear stories on motorbike accidents. Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's kind of really detrimental too. I mean, one of the scooter shop people actually recently got hit by a car. I'm trying to think. What did he say? I think he said he was making a turn or something. He was making like a left turn and somebody just clipped right into him. Somebody T-boned him. So he's still alive, thank God. Thank frickin' God he's still alive. But that must be a super terrifying experience. I think everybody in general needs to be safer drivers. It's literally not just the motorcyclists. We have some reckless motorcyclists, but we also have some reckless drivers out there. Car drivers in general. I've seen it. I've seen it even in Freckles. It doesn't matter. You know, car drivers, they get into accidents too. We need to be more appreciative. Every time I get in a car, my mindset, my mentality is that this is a person, like this is a killing machine, okay? I don't think a lot of people like go into vehicles with that kind of mentality, that if they make any sort of mistake or wrong move, they could kill a person. I think people just go inside a vehicle and they're just like, yeah, I'm just going from point A to point B. Like, yeah, this is a sick ride. I'm just getting myself somewhere. Or easy mode of transportation. Every time I get into a vehicle, every time I drive, I always have the mindset in my head, if I make a mistake today, I could kill a person. I think that puts a lot of mindset and like perspective of like, hey, don't knuck up your driving. You know what I mean? I think it's like the same mentality of like when you give somebody a gun, right? You never want to give somebody a gun that's being reckless, that's not being appreciative of like the safety and things like that. It doesn't matter. They're gonna use it for like self-protection or for hunting or whatever. If they don't acknowledge that what they are carrying and what they are using could kill a person, I don't think you would trust them with that weapon, right? So why do we trust everybody every day to get in vehicles that are essentially big bulldozing killing machines if they don't have the right mindset for that, right? Doesn't that make sense? That kind of makes sense. Why? Why do we do that? Why do people get into giant bulldozing killing machines and not think about the repercussions of making the wrong move or making mistakes? You can hand somebody a gun and be like, hey, don't knuck up, right? Make sure you have the safety on. Like, there's a lot of like repercussions, and there's a lot of like standards that like if you guys were to hand me a gun, you guys would be like, okay, let's teach you all of the safeties that you needed to know. Right? You guys you'd lock in, you'd be super serious. So then why should getting in a car be any different? Lock in. Lock in, guys. Lock in, drivers. You drivers out there, lock in. Lock the nuck in. People's lives are on the line. I don't
To Pythagorean, one cup has deemed it
we go
necessary
off
to
highway.
water the
What is
cat.
going on? Hold on. Apparently the highway near you is not good not good for motorcycle. Becca didn't like driving it. You don't like driving it in a car. It's pretty bad. I think some of the roads that I was going down was pretty bad, especially in the rain, the pouring rain. I actually, the wobble that I was talking about earlier, I experienced on the way to Sarah's bread drop off. So that's why it was really terrifying to me. I experienced the wobble during that drive. Thankfully, I made it okay. Also, thank you so much for the hydration. You need to get a driver's license, but you have this innate fear of making one mistake and crashing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think more people should have that mentality that, you know, there are repercussions if you knock up. I think there should be more mentality of like, hey, this is actually a really dangerous activity to do. But people don't. People just think of it as an accessibility mode of transportation sort of thing. So there's nothing wrong with it. But you just need to be able to lock in and be responsible with it. It's the same thing as handling a gun, right? The gun is pretty dangerous. But you have a very safe mentality about it. So it's the same thing with cars. You need to get a driver's license, but you have this innate fear of making a mistake and crashing. Did I? Oh, I didn't highlight that before. I'm like, I thought I read that. You'd be a natural at driving, but you won't know. You gotta give it a try. Of the siblings, I was the natural driver. I barely needed any sort of instruction. My sister was really rough and tense and was a little bit of a terrible driver, and her car record will tell you how much of a terrible driver she was, that she's like, she's blown through 3 cars already, gotten into many crashes, and has run into one of those, like, the fire hydrant poles, and like scuffed up like, she's damaged so many cars. Okay, she was really rough and stiff starting out driving because she was a nervous driver. And then when she got used to driving, she then became a careless driver. So that's kind of bad. She went from being a nervous driver to being a careless driver and has destroyed many vehicles. My brother was a nervous driver, and I don't know how he drives now. He has his license now. I remember being in the car with him, and his nervous driving made me super nervous. I couldn't stand being in the car with him because he lacked spatial awareness of his vehicle. I lack some spatial awareness of my vehicle, but I over exaggerate my spatial awareness in terms of, like, I think I'm fatter than I really am in my car. In Freckles, I think Freckles is fatter than they really are. So that works to my benefit of trying to be safer. My brother, when I was in the car with him when he was training, was literally driving centimeters from parked cars. He was driving centimeters from parked cars, and that was making me a nervous wreck. I'm like, you don't need to be this close to those cars. Please, can you give them some space? And I was pretty much a natural, which is why they forced me to not drive, because they knew that I would kind of take it off, like spinning or whatever. Like, I needed no instruction. I was pretty much a natural. I knew how to drive from the get-go. I didn't have any issues with using certain things. So the homestead's result was to forcibly not have me practice driving. It was kind of messed up. I grew up playing a lot of the racing games, which I will say is, I'm not saying that racing games is a way to learn how to drive. Okay, I grew up being very proficient and like the proficient racing gamer of the siblings. They would always ask me to play a lot of the racing games for them because I was the only one that could, like, beat the challenges or XYZ or whatnot. And when I did driving, I was pretty much a natural at it. And so they refused to take me practicing because they were too busy for it. And I had to do practice, like car practice driving with my friends. And they really were just like, there's really nothing for you to learn too much in terms of like, you're pretty safe. You've got a good head. You're kind of aware of the road and all this other stuff. And so like, I had to take the test by myself. And when I got my license, they refused to have me insured on any of the vehicles. So I wasn't even allowed to drive even after I had my license. I wasn't even allowed to drive even after I had my license. So they like were really refusing to have me drive even though I was the most proficient driver of everybody. And it wasn't until like I ran out of options for like carpool buddies for school that they were like, okay, I guess we can have you drive the oldest car that we have because nobody else wanted it. Which is fine. We had like a really, really old Mercedes, which is super heavy because it had a full steel body. And I don't think it had power steering. It was a full steel body. It was really heavy and it was the oldest vehicle that we had. And it also used premium gas. And that was the car that they had me use as my like beginner car. And I was the only one that could use it because my sister hated that car. Oh, also the windows were tinted, by the way. The windows were massively tinted and my sister hated that car because it was too heavy. She couldn't steer it. The windows were too tinted for her and XYZ. So she took the car that was supposed to originally go to me, and I could drive any of the vehicles. I could drive the van, I could drive the SUV, I could drive the Mercedes. They didn't have any concern or worry about whatever vehicles I could drive. But I guess I couldn't live off of the Mercedes forever. So that's when I got freckles. So I got freckles instead.
Ads are dropping in 2 minutes.
To be more gas efficient. Because premium gas was such a pain. Premium gas was such a pain. But yeah. Let me see. I don't know how I got into that last tangent. Get a 1,000 or under clapped out beater. I don't know what that means. Zoning laws are very dedicated to accommodating cars. Small businesses need big parking, which can be a problem. That's so unfortunate, especially like if the lot they have doesn't have a lot of space for it. A lot of like what? No. Just accommodate for motorcycles. Just go to a motorcycle bar. Making lunch, how goes the scooter chatting? I'm yapping so hard that I haven't even watched the video that I originally was going to show chat about this guy's modification to his scooter. I ended up yapping so hard. You went to a Sonic drive-thru that has you park, order, then wait for someone in skates to bring your meal. You, as a pedestrian, stood on the car spot until you were told right around the corner is a seating spot for you. Yeah, they have some seating spots, but there's no place to wash your hands. My biggest issue about Sonic drive-thru. When you were picking up the knife and bread, you had so many cars fly by way over the speed limit. Yeah, you got physically spun. It was a fun walk, though. That's great. Hi, Archie. How are you doing? I had some people that were wondering if I was okay when I did that, when I dropped off the bread. What if we, our bikes, kissed, share parking lanes in the Denny's parking lot? Love tap. Mwah. Scooters. Not the Denny's parking lot. Ah! Blarg. Here in NYC, got a ton of places that sell mopeds for $50 down. Unfortunately, people use them for crimes like robbing and pew-pew kind. That's crazy. What? Wait, like $50 down, like only for $50, or like you just need a down payment of $50 and then you just own it and you need to do monthly payments? I also don't know what kind of like parking accommodations they have for scooters and mopeds in New York City. I don't remember if I saw any there. Just use the bicycle routes for driving? I'm not allowed in the bicycle routes because I have a motor. If I had an electric bike, that'd be fine. I'm trying to think in my head.
Ads incoming.
If I had an electric bike, I think I'd be able to. So if my scooter was electric,
ADSR running for 180 seconds.
I think there's a chance I could use it. I think. There are some like electric bikes that could use those. But not Sasha, because she's gas. Merging onto the highway in a scooter must be wicked unnerving. Sometimes it can be. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're not going fast enough or if they're going too fast and you need to be able to match that speed. It's kind of scary. Living in rural America means that going anywhere on foot is not a realistic option. Heck, you have 3 vehicles for different uses. A sedan for family travels, a truck for truck things, and your Mustang for weekend/fun driving. Multiple vehiculars. Yeah. I have the one, and sometimes I wish I had a truck, especially with all the moving that I do. With all the moving that I have done, sometimes I wish I had a ease of access to a truck some days. Some days I wish I had taken the SUV, but it is fine. Freckles has seen a lot of moves, and as you guys have pointed out, that there's a chance that Freckles could be somewhere close to their end of days or something. Somewhere vaguely close, but not like super close. Question mark. I think Freckles is due for a checkup as well. I think Freckles is due. Freckles is either due for a checkup or due for an oil change sometime eventually. I don't remember when. But I'm kind of worried because I think the something filter or other is gonna cost some money, and I haven't really gotten the money for it. Sasha's first checkup cost a lot more than I was hoping it would. I mean, I knew a rough estimate. They said it would cost like $350 for her checkup. But with the side stand installation and things like that, it ended up being like $400 or something, and that made me a little sad. But it's her first checkup, so I felt like it was worth her good bill of health. It was worth her having a good bill of health. Can you use motorcycle on bike lanes? No, you can't use motorcycles on bike lanes. You can't have gas vehicles on the bike lanes. That is not a thing you can do. Another scooter ran off the road is another good day. Bloodify! Why? Why? We gotta get you on a bike. We gotta get Bloodify on a bike, I think. Like, people barely see cars merging. Can't imagine how many just miss hitting a scooter. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Technically, no. Doesn't stop people, though. But, like, use the bike route on Google Maps. That's what you do. Do you have a motorcycle, Archie? Do you have, like, a gas motorcycle? If it's electric, it's fine. It is fine. Becca, we go. Off-Kai. Go where? Gun range. At the Off-Kai. Oh my god. How much is that? You're trying to lock in. You're forcing Gons to shoot your California rifle. If you can't tell you the rules of firearm safety and demonstrate the practice of said rules, you'll never trust you with a butter knife. Exactly, see? You're so locked in. You're so locked in. That's fine. Also, hi, Abby. Make sure the safe is on. But Becco, all of the pistols you buy don't have safeties. The safety is your finger and knowing how to and when to not use the tool. You know? That's fair. At least you know when and how, right? Every time I watch movies, and they always give the gun... Anytime I watch movies / play any video games, and they give the gun to the nervous wreck, or the person that doesn't have good, like, mental control, like, good trigger, good trigger control, I'm just, like, cringing. I'm like, that is an accident waiting to happen. They are going to do something, and it's irreversible. They're gonna kill somebody. I get so mad and upset. I'm like, who gave this person a gun? Don't give them a gun. What the frick? What is this? You're asking for problems at that point, right? I've seen so many shows where they do that, and I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh, why? Why would you do that? This is my safety. Becca Rally driving school arc, dude. For real. I do think that a lot of people, I think if it was mandatory to learn both car and motorcycle, I think there would be some level of like understanding, right? Because there's a lot of things I was actually explaining to Avi about it, is that when you learn how to drive a car, you're just learning how to drive a car. Sometimes they teach you a little bit about like trucks and like, oh, if you're looking for this kind of license, this only applies to this license, right? But they kind of have little blurbs explaining a little bits of it, but you don't need to learn everything about like commercial truck driving, right? You don't need to, and that's fine, I guess. But like when I went to driving school for the motorcycle, there was a lot of things that like before that moment as a car driver, I actually didn't know and didn't understand why. Like I've seen motorcycle drivers do certain things and I didn't understand. And I thought they were just being dumb nuts, right? And some motorcycle drivers are still dumb nuts. But there's something that like I was explaining to Avi that I learned about in my motorcycle school was that one example is the left turn lane for intersections, that depending on the light, some motorcycle drivers are forced to make illegal left turns because the light will never change for them, because there is like a pressure pad underneath the left turn lane where it's weighted for a car. So a car can sit on top of it and it will know a car is there and it will be like, I gotta change to let this car make a left turn. It's not weighted for motorcycles. So if a motorcycle is in a left turn and it's one of those weighted ones that won't ever change unless you exceed a certain weight limit, it will never change for the motorcycle. So it forces motorcycles to have to do illegal left turns and like just chance it, right? And it's things like that. As well as like there's a couple of other things which is different for like motorcycle driving than car driving, but it's things that I never really would have known about as a car driver, and I used to get like angry at certain things that I would see or like scoff at motorcycle drivers and be like, oh, you careless driver. But it's because some of the rules and regulations kind of force them to do that, to act like that. Also, lane splitting is kind of dumb, but I see the intention, but it does make people angry. And what other thing is there? What other thing? Oh, I remember used to complaining about like why motorcycles, they're super tiny and they take up like you say a lane, right? And motorcycles, instead of taking up the center of the lane, more often than not, you'll see them take up the left side of a lane, right? So I'm not saying the left lane. I'm literally saying any lane whatsoever, they take up the left side of the lane. So it kind of makes you feel like you can either clip them or like, I've actually had people cut me off because I'm on the left side of the lane, right? And that's really dangerous. It doesn't matter if the motorcycle is small enough that it doesn't take up the whole lane. It's not okay for you to cut them off or clip them. And the reason why they don't take up the middle of the road or the lane is because drivers don't see them if they're in the middle of the lane, right? They drive on the left side of the lane because that coincides with allowing the driver, like with the driver's side. And if you're looking at like either the rear view or the side view mirror, some people don't use their rear view mirrors. If you see like the side view mirror, it allows them to see motorcycles and bikes because they're on the left side, which is the driver's side. And so that leaves like the rest of the lane, like there's a lot of space. I've had so many people cut me off, and that's super duper duper dangerous because they drive really close to me. They have no idea about like how small and like my spatial awareness, and they think they could just cut really close to me. I've had a couple of them do that. That is so dangerous. That is so scary and dangerous. That's not okay. It's kind of not okay. Please don't do that. We're just trying to survive out here. What was your race game of choice? Realistic like Forza or arcade like Need for Speed? I don't know. Any of them? I mean, I didn't actively buy them, right? But I'm kind of not sure. I played a lot of, there was a Need for Speed game I think I used to play, as well as any of the, it was mainly the arcade machines at at any arcade, the one where you sit in with the steering wheel. I played those a lot. And I would beat like I'd be like this tiny like 10-year-old child, and I would be beating college students in first place and everything. And they'd look over and be like, who beat us? And they'd see me, this tiny little Asian girl. They're like, what the frig? Oh, you just got owned by a tiny Asian girl. And I'm just like sitting there like, hi, hello, I'm sorry. Other than that, I think I played like Chocobo Racing, and then like my brother had me play all of the racing for their Saboteur game. They played like Saboteur, and they had me do all of the racing, and then I forgot what other stuff like my sister would have me play that had racing on it. Becco driving a drug dealer Mercedes. Is that what they're like? Who needs power steering? Just as God intended. Super heavy vehicular. You're at work, so you're looking. Okay, Archie. You feel like cars for some reason on purpose need to hit the gas when they see a lonely person on the side of the road just to scare them. That's so terrifying. If you felt like the wind that like comes off of vehicles that are speeding, and you're like on a very skinny sidewalk or whatnot, or even like on the freeway overpass, that's terrifying. Why do that? You're not saying use the bike lane. You're saying map using the bike route, not the car. What do you mean map? Bike route, not car. Map what, though? You see most parks park their bike sideways and normally. In the parking spot? Butterfly when he sees Becco on the road, shame, steps on the gas. I know! That's what it feels like, Sag. Never be around Butterfly. Oh god, you're gonna have to draw this out for Becco. Maybe. I need diagrams, please. You're co-signing for this? Kaiju, how could? And it usually ends in an accident. Absolutely. Dumb nugs. When can I get this as a sticker or on a You can put it in the suggestions so that it reminds me that's a slogan that I could write on a sticker. Remind me. Politicians would step in and change it if people needed to take both classes. Good idea to learn both. It gives you kind of like a mindset to understand why motorcyclists do certain things. It gives an understanding. Otherwise, as a driver, like I was a car driver before learning how to drive a motorcycle. I had the same exact assumptions as like any other car driver. I would get angry at them for parking in car parking slots. I would get angry at them for not taking up a whole lane, and I feel like I could fit and slide right through, right? I would get angry at like I actually have seen a motorcyclist do an illegal left turn, and I just thought they were being impatient little nuts. And it was because there was nobody else in their lane, so the light was never going to change. It's a lot of those things and minute things that I've seen that I'm just like, man, that kind of sucks. Like, that really sucks. Politicians know nothing, and whenever they touch anything, they mess it up. Less regulation, more education. Exactly. They need to just be educated more. You're not a fan of the government. Yeah. They just need to know. if I were ever, if I actually played a scenario in my head, like a couple days ago, like if I were to somehow be president of the world, any time of regulation or law or whatever, I'd ask a bajillion questions. I'd be like, tell me everything about this. What's the law? What's the current standing? What's the situation? Tell me how this affects people. Like, I would be so invasive of trying to learn every little nitty bitty of it so that I can understand what is the best course of action or choice for that measure. I don't know if they do that. I feel like they would. They have advisors for a reason, but also I don't know if those advisors would be like feeding them misinformation for the sake of having a choice that weighs in on them. That's kind of tricky, isn't it? I think I would be asking I would be like asking a lot of people questions to educate me on things. Ridge Racer from the PSP. I've never heard of that one. Now you played WMMT at round 1. Oh, I don't know that one either. But I have played a lot of the racing games at round 1. There was one that I played that freaking, oh my god, that has like motion on it. And I was playing against Rianari, and Rianari's station was broken, so he wasn't getting any of the motion controls. And we just couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing because the freaking machine was literally jostling me around and tossing me about. And so it was so hard for me to focus on racing Rianari because I'm just being shaken like a freaking egg in a tiny ping pong ball. I don't know. It was so hilarious. It was funny. It was very disorienting, but it was fun. You should have joined NASCAR. And he's making a left turn. And he's making another left turn. Oh my god, how many left turns can he make? I'm joking. Oh, NASCAR would be very interesting. You know what would be very interesting? I would like to learn how to do drifting. I was in that car when they did I was in like the electric car festival, electric vehicle, whatever, expo, and they had car drifting. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was like laughing and screaming the entire time. I took a video of it, which I posted in the Discord if you were curious to see. I'm just like, ah! This cat was being taken by the momentum, shoved against the door, screaming. Becco just standing there like, ugh. Becco beating the stereotype? Which stereotype? And the college kids? Which one? The Google Maps? Let me draw this. Standing by. Utah had safety checks on all vehicles for roadworthiness until a politician made it their goal to end that. Some cars that fail safeties were falling apart. Is that the smog test thing? Was that the smog testing? We don't still have to do the smog test. Hello, Kankaniki. How are you doing? Good morning. How are you? Case in point, remember one time you were actually good at those arcade motorcycles? I don't know if I've ever done the arcade motorcycles, actually. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever done that. I usually just do the cars. Send a poorly drawn picture example in the GIB. Okay, just hit the e-brake and feel it. I wouldn't know how to. Like Han in Fast and Furious says, the Asian and the female driver stereotype of being a bad driver? Are you guys calling me a bad driver or a good driver? Hold on. Oh, me being a good driver? Because I beat so many people in racing. Hold on. I still haven't even talked about this video here. I'm being heavily distracted. Give me a second here. Where am I? Let's really quickly, before I get distracted even more, let's talk really briefly about his modification. Where my ear is pointing. You see this console? If I can point my ears properly, right here, these set of buttons, hold on, I'll just do this. These set of buttons right here, that's not normal for that scooter type. He modified that. So each of those buttons do different things and different lights. I think he does have a separate for like fog light. He has a fog light installed and a regular light installed on his. And he has this console for all of that. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And then he has this back rack, which he'll explain in a little bit. Let's take a look here. God damn it. Let's fast forward. So he has his saddlebags here. I don't have saddlebags yet. But he has these saddlebags. They're normal mounting. I think he has, oh look, so he has these rotos. So he has this mount that goes down. So this is the back rack right here. And then he has these, he calls them roto mount thingies. And they hold these canisters. One of them is supposed to hold water. So this white one I assume holds water. And then the red one holds gasoline. So emergency gasoline. I have the bladder. What do you call it? The giant loop bladder. Because I like the fact that once I'm not using it, I could fold it up. And I could mount it to like random places. It's fine. The hard case in my brain, I'm just like, it's kind of like, I can't modulate it, right? It doesn't get smaller over time. If it's an empty case, it's an empty space. Whereas with the bladders that I have, at least the more I use it, the smaller it gets. So I kind of like my water bladders, but this is heavy. These two clamp thingies are like 3 pounds each. Ish. So he has maybe about 5 pounds. Maybe it's like 2.5 pounds because they're thick steel. Right? And then he has this right here. This is the universal mounting system that I was talking about, that plastic mounting system. And then you can see this metal rod right here. I know I'm pointing with my ears. I'm pointing with my ears. I need one of those pointer sticks. I need to find an asset for the pointer sticks. But he has this metal rod right here, which goes from the bottom of his back rack, and then it connects to this side bracket. That is the bracket for this license plate. And that's kind of like what I would like to do with Sasha to try to have more stability, just like this guy. But he made these rods himself. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do that for myself. You want to flood the ears? What do you mean? Would you have them for your car? How will you implement it? Which one? Implement what? Emission testing goes under smog test. Safety test was to make sure the wheel didn't fly off. Oh, I don't think I've ever done this before then. I don't know what that is. Plot twist, they both piss. Oh my god. 3 pounds are heavy? In what world? It's 3 pounds each, right? And Shadow, I'm gonna tell you to shut up. I'm gonna tell you to shut up because you always point out weightage. We're talking about the fact that the back rack here, I have expressed explicitly over and over, the sticker says the weight limit is 10 fucking pounds. So when you're saying each of these side canisters are 3 pounds each, you're taking up 6 pounds of your 10-pound fucking limit. So let's proceed. So yeah, it's kind of heavy. Is 5... Okay, I'm ignoring this one. NASCAR is very much a by the seat of your pants. You are so securely strapped in that you can only look forward. But your head jostles around, doesn't it? You were told by a teammate in a tower or other related place where you are and what's going on around you. You can't see when someone is next to you. Your spotter has to tell you that. You're driving blind with lag at 200 miles per hour. This is why crashes are frequent in the sport. Damn. I've seen videos inside the cage, because it really is a cage, and you really are kind of jostling about. You can only look straight, but like you're still like having to fight the momentum of the head shaking. You know what I mean? Oh, tail pointer? Man, my tail still kind of waggles. I don't know how accurate it can be in terms of pointing. New phone hasn't gotten used to the vocabulary yet. That's fine. You love how Beko speaks of something when 2 minutes later she is vastly lost. I'm so vastly lost. Yeah. Let's see, where am I? But yeah, so that's why he has the supports in there, because all of this all together is pretty heavy. If you have a top case that weighs, let's say 3 to 4 pounds, plus you have these two mounting brackets that weigh like 2.5 each or something, so you have like 5 pounds. Like literally just the canisters alone is equaling his 10-pound limit, and that's not even filled with anything. Liquid alone, we know the liquid itself can weigh a lot. I don't know how big these things are, but I get the feeling that this alone would equal like, what, 5 pounds each canister, maybe less, 3 to 5 pounds each canister, 3 to 5 pounds. So that alone is also the 10 pound limit, right? So like needing that support system is pretty key. So like he shows that installation. I really want to know this side bars here. You forgot to factor in the liquid? Yeah, liquid is kind of heavy. Low key, liquid is kind of heavy by itself. So look at this. Hold on. Let me pause this. He made this metal himself, this rod that supports the back rack. And then he has this bracket that goes around to the side. And this connects to like the top of the license plate. Now that I'm looking at this, I actually don't have this. I don't have this 2 nubs. My license plate just has the 4 screws around. So like right here, it just has the 4 screws around. And I did try to get a bracket like this, similar like this, but it doesn't fit. It's too small. It's smaller than my license plate. So I don't know where he got this bracket, because I literally typed in motorcycle license bracket, and it's not the same one as this one. And then he got this metal, he measured out and cut this metal thing, and then he flattened one end so that he could screw it to the side. I don't have this capability to flatten metal. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how he did this or what I should do with myself. But he did that. And I want to figure out how to add that added support. And you can see that backlight too, right? He added that backlight and wiring. Do you see this? This yellow thing? I'm assuming this is the floodlight that you're talking about, right? This is like extra lightage, extra wiring. He is like crazy with the modifications in his thing. I don't know what this is. Some sort of bracket. Some sort of bracket. So he's explaining this. See, look, and he's shaking it, and he's like, it's really sturdy. Because this back rack, the reason why it can only support like up to 10 pounds, or they recommend only 10 pounds, when you look at it, literally it's only, oh, he's really quickly going through the components of this. If you go back here, its connections, the weight is being supported literally by this knucking screw. So it only has the connection point of right here under the seat, and then like on the other side of the seat, of course, and then like one tiny little bracket right here on the back. So having way too much weight, you only have your connection points right here and right there on the other side. So he added an additional connection point to help support all of the added weight. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 4 connections to help support that weight. I want to try to do that. Probably 3D princess stuff. This is metal though. He's using metal. He actually welded this. I don't have the welding capabilities for this. So like he shows some of his pictures here. So look, he made this metal bar. Now that I'm looking at it, this is the whole metal bar in the back that we were just looking at. So he just strapped the 2 metal bars there, and he probably cut it to size after that. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. And so he folded it right here. So he's folded it right here, and then he's cut it to size. And then this is him measuring out that pole. So it was originally silver. He's measuring it to support this back rack. And then right here, he flattened that end and cut it. And that's crazy. And I want to figure out how to do this so that Sasha has a support mount. This feels very important. See, and then this is, yeah. So you can see right here, he's flattened that bottom to accommodate for screwing. He's flattened that bottom right there and screwed it right in, right there. And it supports it. He actually, insanely enough, does not have a connection point between the back rack and the bar. He said that he just lets it sit there. That he just lets it rest right there. I don't think I can do that. I do believe it does need some sort of connection point, and I don't know how to make a connection point. But he said that he literally just sits it there. You can 3D print in metal? Can you really? Like to this size though? This mega size? You should not get into welding yourself. Is there a welder somewhere in the community that can help me with this? We want to flatten metal with a hammer. That's what I was thinking too. But I feel like I would damage it too much. People often get bad eyesight despite the thick masks, and your scar would make it... This is actually very true. The light would be super blinding for me, so I probably couldn't get into welding. My brother, for a little bit, wanted to get into welding, but he doesn't like the heat. He doesn't like the heat, so he's like, I probably couldn't get into welding. So, but I want this. This is what I want. I want a support system, and I can't figure out how to do that for Sasha. I got camera selfie sticks. That was my attempt at it. I got some camera selfie sticks. Carbon fiber camera selfie sticks. So you can see me trying to replicate it, right? So it's right now screwed into, like, the top bit. It's screwed into one of the W brackets of the bottom rack. That's what it's screwed into. And then it goes all the way down to the bottom, but then it's slightly too tall. It's too long, and it's not connected to anything. It's just kind of dangling there right now. So it's not supporting anything. It's just dangling there. And it's slightly too tall. I don't know where to connect it to at the bottom, by the way, because I don't think I can connect it to the to this stuff, because this the side brackets, or I don't know what you call this, the scratch guards, question mark, it's connected also to that same seat connector right here. It's connected to that same seat connector, and it is connected down here as well, but the fact is I'm still adding a lot of strain to this little bracket right here, which I feel like defeats the purpose. And I don't have it in the picture, but like my license plate, I tried to find any other like mounting down there, and I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Maybe I need to look at Sasha again. Don't forget to eat. Oh, I guess it's about that time, isn't it? I am getting really hungry. Look for a fab shop near you. What's a fab shop? Selfie sticks for scooting. I was using a selfie stick. 10 hours left. Beko engineering at its finest using selfie sticks. Carbon fiber selfie sticks. Because I was told carbon fiber is super strong and powerful. Beko sticker power. One day you would love to see Sasha IRL. One day. Eventually. Fabrication shop. What's a fabrication shop? What do they do there? But yeah, see, look at this. And he's shaking it really aggressively. He's like, it's really sturdy. It stays on. And I'm just like, yes, it sure does. It sure does stay on. It does definitely look sturdy. Hot damn, does that look good, how sturdy it is. Look at that. Look at him shaking it violently. Yes, I would like support for Sasha. Yes, I would. How do I get this kind of support for Sasha? I would love it. That's kind of my brain right now, trying to figure this out. And then so he's talking about how he adds the roto packs here. So he adds the roto packs. Blarg. That's his roto packs. So he slots it in underneath the universal mount. And then this is his top case. And so you can kind of see his top case. He has these things in here. Wait, get out of the way, guy. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way! He has these things here. Hold on. I'll just show it here. There we go. So he has these things. He drilled into his top case. To add these tactical strap thingies, right? And this holds his shovel, whatever the shovel is, which has a sawtooth and a bottle opener, and then his hatchet. So this is his hatchet right here. And it holds this stuff. But guess what? My top case has the moly grate. It has the moly grate, so I don't need to screw into my top case. I can just strap it to the moly grate. Yay! Let's go. Your stepfather can weld and such. Man has worked on everything in construction. Does he have the tools and stuff at home and everything? They'll make it for you to your designs and needs. Do I just type in fabrication shop? They fabricate things. E-tool spotted. Entrenchment tool. Spicy shovel. Entrenchment shovel. Entrenchment tool. Lots of war crimes. He goes camping with this. He goes camping with this setup. But yeah, look at that. Hatchet. I need a hatchet that'll fit on the Sasha's back under her top case. Let's pull up the top case again. So he has it there on hard screwed in. But look, I've got little mole grates. Look at that. So he had to drill into his. Mine has mole grates to it. We have the mole grates, and we don't need to do that. And we could just strap the tiny little hatchet and shovel to the back. Let's go. You have a fold-up e-tool. It's nice. I just don't know what brand he uses. Does he have a list? Hold on. Let me look at the video. Does he have a list? Let me look. How he packs his stuff. How he loads. His rotopack, top case mounting, saddlebags mounting, front bag mounting, weight distribution, must have for travels, rotopack, top case. He uses something called a rhino shovel and a camelus hatchet is his gear. Something called a rhino shovel and a camelus hatchet. I'll take a gander at it. And post it in the Discord. And you guys can tell me if those are good. Go eat before you forget again? Oh my god, you're right. Okay, I talked about his setup and what I want to do for Sasha. That's the goal that I had. It took me 2 hours and 40 minutes to do so. But I have showed off the modifications I've added to Sasha and trying to figure out how to do it the same as the other guy. That was like literally my whole 2-hour tangent was hoping to get to that point, and I have finally gotten to that point. Finally. They were first made for trench warfare. Lots of Thank you. I finally did it. I can talk about a topic eventually. We could yap forever. Probably SOG. It's almost SOG. What is SOG? Surprisingly, it's not SOG. What the heck is SOG mean? Classic Beko. 2 hours and 40 minutes straight of scooter talk. Isn't it beautiful, though? Isn't it beautiful to just scooter talk? We're gonna scooter talk it up. I'm gonna shove you guys at QB, because QB has started streaming. I don't know if you guys remember QB. QB stops by every so often still. But QB is an awesome POG video editor, and they have started streaming themselves. Isn't it great? Let's go. Please overburden QB. Also, let me pause the timer. Pause. There we go. QB, your boy. Let's go. Saga's a blade company. Oh. I'll post the video scooter guy. Hold on. What did I do with the scooter guy video? Let me post the scooter guy video. I'll put it in the Discord in the links link dump. And then you guys can watch it for yourself, and you guys can brainstorm some ideas about how I should modify Sasha to make her more camping compatible. Camping hardcore modifications, but still, I still want it to be like not super hard permanent modifications. I don't want hard permanent modifications. In case of things. I like things being modular. Hello, Dark One. Hello. Thank you so much for the follow. With every level, I go stronger. Thank you. Kill me, my boy. Anyway, I posted that video, and I will go have lunch. I'm super really hungry. Thank you. Is it still raining? I wonder if I could go out today. go stop by the groceries. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.